A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is Hassan Naqvi. Today, inshallah, I'm going to explain everything in English because some of my students said that it is better for the examination to explain everything in English rather than in Urdu. So I will go quite fast because there is a lot to teach today. Today's topic is Sura Al Ikhlas. There is one important thing that Sura Al Ikhlas, Qul Allahu Ahad, Allahu Samad, is a part of two syllabuses. One is Edexcel syllabus and the other one is CAIE syllabus. In Edexcel syllabus, it is the component 2.1 part D, and in CAIE this is question number 1, paper number 1, Quran passages, and the topic is Allah in Himself. Let's move on to the other things. Wait. Right, sir. This is as usual my YouTube address. This is O Levels Islamic Studies by Hassan Naqvi. Then my blog address is hassan-naqvi.blogspot.com, on which you will receive many of my notes, the other notes too, and also this one. Syllabus board is, as I explained you, Edexcel syllabus is component section 2 component, and part D are the Quranic passages or the ahadith, which I explained you. Sorry. G. In CIE, as I explained you, this is question number 1, paper number 1 of Quranic passages, and the main topic. These are the words of Edexcel syllabus. Over there in Cambridge, this is Allah in Himself, the nature of belief in Allah. It is the same thing. There is no difference between these two topics and two syllabuses. It is the same thing. The main topic was the nature of belief in Allah or Allah in Himself. Subtopic is Sura Al Ikhlas. One more thing to explain you, that I have given you two translations in this video. One is the translation of the Edexcel board. One is the translation of the Cambridge board. The words are a little bit different, but the idea, the main focus is the same. There is no difference between the two translations as such. In Arabic words, there are so many meanings and so many versions in the translations that you may do it in one way or the other. As long as it is depicting the right meaning, there is no problem as such. This is the translation given by Edexcel syllabus. Qul huwallahu ahad, say. Qul, keh dijiye. Say, He is Allah. Huwallahu ahad, He is the one. Who is one? I will read out the translation only right now. I will explain the things later on. Allahu Samad, Allah the eternal refuge. Lam yalid walam yulad. He neither begets nor is born. And walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad, nor is there to him any equivalent. This is the translation of Edexcel board. I read out the translation of the Cambridge board. I gave two translations only because the student should not be confused that this translation is not there in our syllabus. That's not a problem. He is Allah, the one and only, Allah the eternal absolute, Allahu Samad, Lam Yalid Walam Yulad. He does not beget, nor is He begotten. Walam Yakul Lahu Kufuwan Ahad, and there is none like Him. Let's start it. This CAIE translation. Teachings. I read out the passage, part of the passage which is there in the bullet point. Then if there is anything to explain you, then I will explain. The surah is said to be 1/3 of the Quran because there are three basic beliefs: Tawheed, Akhirah and Prophethood. Since it deals with Tawheed, it is 1/3 of the Quran. Well, it's quite clear. You see, Islam is based on three very basic major concepts. One concept is Tawheed, or oneness of Allah. One concept is the Day of Judgment. And one concept is to believe in the prophets of Allah and the last prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Because these are three main topics of the Quran, and the Quran repeats them again and again, these three topics, and emphasizes the Muslims to be careful about these three things: Tawheed, Akhirah and prophets, Nabuwat. So therefore, this is 1/3 of the Quran because Tawheed is 1/3. The second third is Akhirah, and the third one is, so the Quran completes. It is also the second shortest surah of the Quran. Qul Huwallahu Ahad, quite clear, I will explain. The surah was revealed in Makkah, but it was repeated in Medina too. Let me make something clear. Originally, it was revealed in Makkah in the early years, in the very early years of Islam. But whenever there was a need to answer a question which I will explain you later, the surah was repeated. And further explanation I will give you. The surah was repeated. And it is also called revelation. Though it was revealed in Makkah, but it is also called revelation. So when it was repeated, for example, Qul A'udhu Birabbil Falaq, Qul A'udhu Birabbin Nas, they were revealed in Makkah. But when a magic was spelled on the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, it was also repeated in Medina. So that's also called revelation. But this, in the same way, the surah was also repeated by the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and later on by the Muslims too, whenever they were asked a question. I will explain you later on. Generally, Muslims recite this surah frequently in prayers because this is short. This is very, very much likely by the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. It is also liked very much by Allah, of course, like the other surahs of the Quran, and it presents the Tawheed, the oneness of Allah, in a beautiful way, in very simple, short words, minimum possible words. The attributes of Allah are presented in this surah and also in Ayat al-Kursi. It was revealed in a background. What was the background? This is important. Religions have their concepts of their gods. Every religion has their own concept of their god or gods. Their gods have sons, daughters, and other relatives. Therefore, people of different religions used to ask the Prophet or the Muslims about the nature of Allah. We have got this God and this God and this God and this God. What is your God? You say Allah. Then what is the concept of Allah? Does he have any children? I will explain you. In response, the surah was revealed. The surah was revealed, that the surah was repeated in response to the question that our God, our Allah, is different from your gods or your concept of God. The surah starts with the word Qul, which means say. Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, say it. And the Muslims, you also say it. You also say, whenever they ask a question about the concept of God, concept of Allah in your religion, in Islam, repeat and tell them that we have got this concept, Qul Allahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad, wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad, and tell them this is what the concept of God is in our religion. The Prophet is instructed to recite the surah in response. Muslims are also instructed the same. So the Muslims have got the responsibility when they are asked about the concept of God in Islam, the concept of Allah in Islam, they should remember the surah, Qul Allahu ahad, and also Ayat al-Kursi at least, or the other ayats too. Now, Allah was not a new or strange name for Arabs. I mean, it was not so that Muhammad ﷺ introduced the word Allah for the first time in the no, it was a common practice among Arabs to recall this name and to recite this name. So whenever they had, they would go to the Kaaba, the holy Kaaba, and they would, hold the cloth of the Kaaba. They would say, "Oh Allah, oh Allah, oh Allah." We find it in a historic example of Abu Jahl when he was going for the Battle of Badr. He went to the holy Kaaba and held the cloth of the Kaaba and said, "Oh Allah, whoever is on the right side today, give them victory." And the victory came to Muslims. It was the same Allah they recognized very well. Allah is, they recognized. Means that for Arabs, it was not a new name. They knew the name of Allah very well. They would recite the name of Allah, and they would say that this Kaaba is the house of Allah. So it was not something new. Allah is Ahad. Allah is Ahad. I mean, the surah says, Qul, keh dijiye, say Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Qul huwa Allahu. He is the same Allah that you recognize. Qul huwa Allahu Ahad. Allah is Ahad. Allah is Ahad means Allah is one. But it is possible that in my room there is only one chair. But that one chair is not Ahad. It should be something unique. Chair have got 1 million shapes and types, but they are all chairs. But Allah is Ahad. Allah is not only one, but He is also unique, different. That is very important attribute of Allah. That there is, and in the last ayat it comes, there is no one like Him. There is no one like Him. So we cannot compare Allah with Him. Allah is absolutely different from everything that may come to your mind. Anything that comes to your mind. Allah is not according to your perception and your mind or whatever it is. Nobody has seen Allah, and we have no concept of Allah at all. What Allah's shape or whatever, I don't know. But Allah is absolutely Ahad, one and only, unique means one and only. He is not only one in number, but He is unique. And one ayat I quoted from Sura Al-Baqarah, and your Allah is one Allah. There is no God but He. The most gracious, most merciful. This ayat is taken from Sura Al-Baqarah 163. Please quote, remember these few words and give them in the examination, because that's always appreciated by the examiners, and that makes your grade better if you quote these quotes in the examination. So therefore I just select a very short ones so that you can remember them very well, but that's important to remember them. Then Allah Samad. Allah is Samad. Samad has many meanings in Arabic, but generally it is used for something absolute, very powerful, and someone who gives protection. There are many meanings. But Samad was generally used for the chief of a tribe who has got very special qualities. He is very generous, very brave, very charismatic, very attractive. There are so many attributes of a Sardar, of a chief of a tribe. But it is also in the sense of very powerful, absolute, who is absolutely uh, uh, taking care of everything. One of the attributes of the tribes, chiefs of the tribes, that they would take care of everyone in the tribe. So in that sense too, Allah is taking care of each and everything in this universe. So there are many meanings. However, just to make it short, we take it as absolute, powerful, someone who gives protection, as it is given in the Edexcel translation, last protection of everyone. So there are so many meanings of Allah Samad. Then very important concept comes up, lam yalid walam yulad. Neither he was given birth nor he gives birth to anyone. Or let me just go in Arabic. Lam yalid walam yulad. He does not beget. Beget is in the physical sense of giving birth. So Allah has no relationship with anyone in the universe or anywhere. Allah is absolutely alone. All religions have concepts that gods have relatives, some one way or the other. Christians believe that Jesus is, probably the spelling is not correct, Jesus is the son of God. Some Jews believe that Azra was a prophet of Allah, is the son of God. Arabs believed that angels were the daughters of God, and similarly all religions have their own concepts of God, and they have got the aunts and the uncles and blah blah whatever. So Islam eradicates all these concepts completely. Islam believes firmly that Allah is all alone. He was not begotten. He was not given birth by anyone. Allah has no spouse, means neither wife nor husband. Therefore, he has no sons, no daughters. It is not the only, we have got a 100% belief that Allah has got no children or any relationship connected to the children, no question at all. In the same way, Allah was not given birth means that there are no parents, no father, no mother of Allah at all. Allah forgives not that partners should be set up with Him. Allah forgives not that partners should be set up with Him. Allah does not tolerate that any kind of partnership be associated with Allah. Any relationship be associated with Allah. Allah does not tolerate it at all. This is Quran. But He forgives anything else to whom He pleases. It is the will of Allah. He may forgive any of my sins, but if I die with a shirk, with a belief that there are partners of Allah, it is something which Allah does not tolerate at all. This is the ayat of Surah Nisa, and ayat number is 48. Then the last one is, Allah is unique. Lam yalid walam yulad walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Or He is ahad. He is absolutely unique. You cannot compare Allah with anyone, with anything. You can imagine whatever you want to, but your imagination is not Allah at all. This is very clear. He is ahad, which means that there is no comparison of Allah with anyone. There is no one like Him. There is no comparison of Allah with anyone. Allah is beyond all human weaknesses. They are all human weaknesses. All of them are that they are giving birth, they've got parents, they've got children, they've got families, they are weak, and further attributes of Allah you will find them inshallah ta'ala when I will explain them in Ayatul Kursi. Then inshallah ta'ala you will know about more attributes of Allah, and that is what I could think. You can also read from the tafsir, you can also read the other speeches of the scholars, because there's a lot which has been said about this surah. Thank you very much for giving me time. May Allah bless you. Please subscribe my channel. So nice of you. Thank you.